This video is made for adult collectors because we had freezing rain the other day and the entire sidewalk was covered in ice and I nearly died walking my dog. It was fantastic.
So I just spent the last like 15 minutes trying to look for the original Wreck-Gar that I have, and I couldn't find him, but I did find a copy of Titanfall 2, which is in here. I remember getting this at a dollar store for $5, and a copy of Modern Warfare, which is missing. I don't know where it went, but it's gone. Hooray, I guess. I don't know. But I did eventually find it. There he is.
Now, having a garbage truck mold on hand makes sense. However, I don't know if I fully buy this as Wreck-Gar. I see a lot of people who are totally okay with this, and that's honestly great. I love that people seem to be enjoying this version of Wreck-Gar. But for me personally, I wish there was a bit more different between this and Trashmaster, because it's basically just Trashmaster with a new head, and I was personally hoping for a little bit more. This was purchased at Robot Kingdom. Here's the box, not sponsored. Ha! You thought I was going to throw the box at this, but this isn't actually mine. It's going to my friend Dennis. He said I could do that. I mean, the mold still looks good. Colors are pretty similar to Trashmaster in terms of like palette. I don't know the best way to describe it, but like you look at it by itself and you go, okay, this looks similar to Trashmaster. And then you look at them next to each other, you go, okay, these are very different from each other. I like to plug these front bits into the back here to simulate the backpack the original toy had. I do prefer these colors over Trashmasters. And they're laid out differently enough that both of them feel super unique against one another. It's once you get up close and look at all the details that I wish there was more change, like the spikes removed, new hands, new chest. That's basically all I would have wanted. Head sculpt is nice, if a bit small. I like how it looks. I just wish it was a bit more angular like the original design. All that said though, it still looks really neat next to some of the new animated molds we've gotten. These are literally the only two I have left. He comes with his claw thing, and the back of it does look like the original blades, which I think is cool, though he holds it weird if you want it to look more like Wreck-Gar's weapon. He is a weaponizer, but this figure does it weird, kind of like Amalgamus, but also kind of not like Amalgamus. It's just the lower legs, block, weapons, and garbage arms. The entire torso and arms chunk is just a one piece. I'm surprised the arms can't come off. They have guns on the end of them. They would have made so much sense being like handheld shotguns or something, but no, it's just strange.
Surprisingly pretty posable for a figure that looks like this. He's just rectangles. He's made of rectangles, but there's a lot of range in a lot of these single joints, and I'm actually quite glad about that, and I kind of hope they do this on more figures. So the head is on a ball joint. You get some nice tilt out there, some up and down, and some rotation. The ball does go into the neck, not into the head, so it is a bit like strange looking at some points, but it's fine. However, this plate that it's on, you notice I'm being very careful here, because it doesn't lock in. His head just wants to fold down all the time. Like, oh, I'm gonna pose it around. There it goes. And I don't remember my Trashmaster doing this. It might have. I'm not 100% sure. I had two, and I don't remember any of them doing that. But yeah, that plate does move, and that's a tiny bit annoying. The shoulders can go forward about that far, and then they stop. They bump into these like smokestack things for the truck, and they don't go a full 360. They probably can, but these shoulders, I don't know if you can tell this, are entirely painted red, and I don't want to risk scratching it, especially considering this isn't my figure, this is going to be my friend's. I don't want to risk that. So, you know, shoulders go forward, they can go that way, and then they stop there, so there is that. They can go in and out. I'm surprised this isn't on a 5mm peg to just pull the arm off, but now it's riveted into place. You do have a bicep rotation. Now this is where the cool range on single joints thing I said comes from. The elbows can bend all the way on a single hinge because of where they've placed it, and I think that's super cool. Yeah, it does leave the elbow looking a tiny bit ugly from this angle, but I still really like how this works. And then you get your wrist swivel. He does have a waist joint, but it is below the hip skirts, which is something that does bother me a little bit. You got your waist joint right there. But yeah, the hip skirts move with it, so they just look strange at certain angles. It's very weird. And if you have these plugged in here, they can move out of the way to accommodate any sort of other articulation you want. The hips can go forward that far, they can go back about that far, but if you move this out of the way, they can go back further, but then it bumps this into the back of the head. They can go out, do the full splits. I do like how this joint is red. I don't know, something about that, it just, I like that bit of color separation. I know it's just because it's on the same sprue as this and as this, but it is kind of neat. You do have your thigh rotation, which is above the knee because it's the 5mm peg. The knees bend about 90 degrees. And then the ankles, I love this. They can go down all the way, they can go up all the way, and then you have your ankle tilt. I love the foot articulation. This and the elbows, I think, are really, really good. But overall, he's very, very, very articulated. And for the guy that's just a solid brick, I think that's awesome. Also, if you rotate the waist, I need to get all this out of the way. Rotate the waist a bit, you can get the legs to go up even higher. So if you want to get him into like a really cool low down pose, you can. Like, that was easy. And that's really cool for someone like this.
So yeah, the robot is fine. I just wish there was more change to make it feel a bit more different from Trashmaster. Transformation is the same as Trashmaster's, but the tolerances on Wreck-Gar feel a lot tighter than both my Trashmasters did. But it's still a very interesting conversion. I still actually quite like this transformation.
So this transformation for this weaponizer doesn't require any parts forming if you don't have it set up like this. If you have these bits here just sort of, I think it's, no, it's this way. No, it's this way. I'm forgetting. If you have them already hanging out here and just stored there, then you don't have to parts form the figure at all, which is nice. So to start with, we are going to fold the feet up like that, and then just collapse the legs together and leave them there. Something's rattling. Oh, it's this. This is rattling on the side of the desk. Get out of here, old Wreck-Gar. So next we're gonna fold the head in and then bring this panel at the top up, and then rotate the waist 180 degrees. You want to take the arms and you want to bring them around so these gunmetal parts are facing the windows, and they're going to tab into these bits right here on the side, and then fold the hands so that they're flipped like this. So do that on this side as well. Get that really nice gunmetal panel. This looks awesome, by the way. And then you want to split these shoulders out and around. They are going to come to the back here and then peg into place together. Then you take the waist, crack it in half, basically. It just clips into here. Now, when I first got this out of the box, getting this apart was so difficult. I thought I was gonna break it, which doubly sucks because this is again going to a friend of mine. I was so scared I was gonna break this, but now it seems to be fine. Like, it clips in and unclips fairly easily, so I don't have to worry about it. But you bring this down, and then these arms are going to peg into the bottom of the feet, and you just get that all straightened out. Peg these hip skirts in, bring the garbage truck arms up, bring this section up, and snap it into place. Snap it into place. And then again, when I first transformed this, getting this undone was also extremely difficult. I think these holes were just a tiny bit too small, but now they seem to be fine. But getting it in is still a bit of a pain. Then you take the weapon. This is weird. So it has to peg into these hands here. And when I first got Trashmaster, I would just sort of like futz it in there. And with Wreck-Gar, I was trying to do that. And it's like, why is it not working? Well, I'm an idiot. You fold this up, you peg the hands in, and then you can bring this inside here, and that keeps it all in place. It's so easy to just do that. It's weird. However, this likes to fall off a lot. It's clipped in like this. On my Trashmaster, I remember it doing the same thing, but it's not the most secure connection in the world. It takes no effort to just pull that out. But once you have that done, there's your garbage truck. Very strange looking garbage truck.
I still really like this alt mode design. It looks so mean and intimidating and not Wreck-Gar to me. I wish the spikes were removed and the sides with the chains on them were changed. Honestly, that's about it. I wish those two things were different. But as an alt mode, this looks pretty sick. We need more garbage truck transformers. Make a Studio Series junk heap, please. The wheels are interesting because the rims don't turn, but the tires do. That's because there's 5mm ports in them, so you can plug literally whatever you want into the wheels. I do like this shade of gunmetal they have on this, and this shade of orange I feel comes to life more in this mode with that gunmetal. It's a neat figure and all, and if you're okay with this little change to make it Wreck-Gar, then I'd recommend it. But for me personally, Again, this is Dennis's, not mine. So now, Dennis, I curse you with this Wreck-Gar. Have fun with it, I guess. I kind of understand now what people felt like when like Prime RC and Prime Bulkhead came out back in Legacy Wave 1. Because I was pretty much okay with those, like the differences that they had between them and the originals. But this here, I'm like, I don't see it. I don't really vibe with it that much. Again, that's just me personally. But that's my look at Age of the Prime's animated Wreck-Gar. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.